say your partner probably wants for you to feel as good as he feels, right? And if a toy is going to help you to get there, I would hope that he'd be okay with it.
What was it like to build a brand around, most topics that people are really whispering about or feeling shame around?
Welcome to the Hot Flash Health Podcast, where we're dishing out unfiltered truths about menopause with a side of sass and a sprinkle of grass.
Get ready to dive into the wild world of hot flashes, mood swings, and all of the other joys of being a queenager.
This ain't your grandma's podcast. No, we are here to talk our bodies, our fears, our passions, our desires, all while navigating this wild roller coaster ride of menopause.
So grab a glass of wine,
or three.
Kick back, relax, and let's enjoy this hot flash wave together.
I'm Courtney Mamusha, and alongside me is my fabulous co-host, Dawn Fable.
We're just two outspoken broads who like to call it how it is.
Now, without further ado, let's kick off today's episode.
Ooh la, or should I say Oboo. Ladies, buckle up. Today we are diving into a conversation that is equally part bold, real, and maybe a little scandalous, just how we like it. But we promise it's all in service of your midlife spark and love life. Our guest is the beautiful Amy St. Germain. She is the founder of Oboo, a feel-good women's health and intimacy brand created by midlife women for midlife women. It's all for us. Amy went from selling baby products to helping women make themselves feel good again. She left a corporate career, embraced the messy, wonderful, and taboo side of perimenopause, and built a brand that helps us rewrite our story when hormones go rogue. We'll talk about vaginal dryness, libido, self-love, and yes, masturbation, but also empowerment and rediscovering our own bodies and owning our hot era. So ladies, if you're in your 40s and 50s and you thought things were slowing down in your love life, Amy is here to prove that you're just getting started. Amy, welcome to Hot Flash Health.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy.
We're so excited.
Of course, we're so excited. And we were introduced to you by the amazing team over at Dr. Mary Claire Haver, which I understand that your products were on one of her favorites list. So congratulations on that.
For me, it was like winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
So grateful. And
Vibrator Oscar.
Yes, a vibrator Oscar. Yeah, she added Oboo as one of just the two brands that she recommends for sexual wellness. And I couldn't be more pleased. And what an honor.
Well, if the queen herself is recommending it, I mean, your products must be good. So let's dive in.
They're definitely beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful I'd like up in my vagina. I'll tell you that. Can't wait to try that on for size. So let's talk about, your whole story, right? You've spent many years in corporate America, like so many of us who are kind of looking to transition and don't know what to do with our life, or is stuck in this rut of corporate America, great payroll, paycheck, but let's see, it's not fulfilling. So what was that wake-up call, and how did you transition from this corporate world into what you're doing now?
Yeah. And it hasn't been very long at all. So I worked in the baby business for 16 years. And we talk about like babies to vibrators, like how is that happening? But really think about it. 16 years ago, I was having babies, right? So I started there, and I was really working with helping other new moms. And so maybe this is what I've discovered is my calling in life, is to help people at the same stage of life as me, right? And so I loved my job. I loved my corporate life. I was helping moms to breastfeed, and I was helping to create products that made being a mom easier, especially to newborns. But then as the years went on, and as perimenopause started settling in, which I did not know that it was perimenopause. I didn't know what the heck was going on with me, like all of us, right? I noticed that I started getting mad. I was getting mad at all of the different things happening to me. I was, normally a fairly happy, sunny person, and I was being a jerk, and I wasn't happy, and I was mad at everything. I was mad at all the symptoms. I was mad at my family. I was mad at my coworker. I was just mad, and I didn't want to be like that. And then every new symptom helped me to be more mad. And I found my conversations finally when I figured out it was perimenopause. And then I could blame everything on perimenopause. I found my conversations around it were all kind of doom and gloom. And I know that's not what it's like for everybody, or I hope it's not. But here I go from this sunny person to this like negative meanie. And I was like, I have to do something about this. And so I started really thinking about, what do I want to do with my life? I need a change. I definitely need a change. Every time I thought about going and getting a new job or doing something different in that way, it made my stomach drop. Like, I was like, oh, I couldn't go work for somebody, and would it really change, right? And then I came across this statistic, another one that made me mad. It was 50% of women in their 50s stop having sex altogether, or being intimate with themselves or anything. And I was like, how in the world could this be? Like, we have got 30 more years ahead of us, at least, probably on average, right? And so how could we stop being intimate? So that, coupled with all my anger, I took a week off of work, and I was like, okay, I'm going to meditate on what it is that I need to do next, and really throw it up to the universe and try to figure this out. And seriously, I woke up one day during this week off, and I was like, I can start my own company. I've done all of the jobs at my baby company. I can start my own company, and I'm going to sell vibrators. Yeah, so I was like, I want to make women feel good again. I don't want women to feel down in this spiral of rut and yuck. And we can feel good. Our bodies are amazing. Our bodies have always been amazing, but we've always been taught to poo-poo them. Mm-hmm. And let's turn that. Let's change that thinking and start feeling good about ourselves again. So I got sunny again, and I started Oboo. So it was about a year ago, 2024 in February, that I quit my job. On August 1st, Oboo starts. So it's been 1 year since Oboo.
You're definitely very vibrating higher.
Yes, in all ways.
Always.
That story so much for a couple reasons. One, I think we're in a really interesting time where we're flipping the narrative around menopause, because so many of us are feeling like it's the end of our life and that doom and gloom. And in actuality, I think that there's such a beautiful awakening of women while they're in perimenopause or menopause. In fact, there's been a lot of studies that have shown that, it's really now at this moment in our lives where we are setting boundaries. We're having these, creative awakenings. We're having sort of this empowerment to, prioritize ourselves and do something that fills our bucket. And so I really appreciate that. And I think, that's such an inspiring story to so many other women who are really feeling stuck in their lives. And thank you too, Amy, for sharing that, vulnerability, just being mad, because I have spent the last year feeling the same way. And I think much like you, I'm a very joyful person, and I can always find laughter and, find joy in just the littlest of things. And it was really a lot of that, I wasn't even able to find joy or smile or laugh in the things that had previously made me happy. So, I'm working on getting there, but I think incorporating one of your vibrators and wellness products will maybe help me be happier. So
I guarantee it. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So, gosh, taboo topics and breaking the rules. Mm-hmm. sex and masturbation and vaginal dryness and all of these things, for so long, these are considered taboo topics in many spaces, outside your really intimate friend group. What was it like to build a brand around, most topics that people are really whispering about or feeling shame around?
Yeah, it's actually been pretty liberating to do this. I love telling people what I do, except maybe my kids' teachers. That doesn't work out. They'd be mortified if I did that. But what I find is when I tell people what I do, they're like, right on. Yes, we need this. And we need this. I feel like for so long we've lived by a certain set of rules. And this goes back to Dawn, kind of what you were saying too. Like, we are waking up and we're questioning things and we're like, why was this okay for so long? There shouldn't be shame around sex. There shouldn't be shame around talking about it. There should be absolutely no shame around menopause, right? But these are all things that for generations you don't talk about. And another thing that makes me mad, right? And I want to change that story. So it's been very liberating to be able to start doing this and start talking about it. And certainly there are challenges along the way because people don't want you to talk about it. But we have to figure out how, and we have to question the rules that we've lived by. Because really, if you think back, like why is it a rule? Why? And if we can't talk about it, how can we make it better, right? Like even, you mentioned close friends. I feel like even close friends feel uncomfortable talking about these things. Not mine anymore, but many close friends don't talk about it or are like earmuffs, right? We don't need to be that way. These are all very natural parts of life that if we can share more, talk more, share what works, share what doesn't work, it can get better for all of us.
Yeah, I think so many of us too are in relationships and, struggling to either connect or keep that flame going. And, we're sitting around just the three of us talking about this. And we have other girlfriends that we talk about how to keep that spark going. And midlife with our hormones changing and the stress of, schedules and kids and work and balancing everything, that sort of just slides out the window, right? Or flies out the window or whatever it goes away. But, what's your advice and how have you kind of approached this with other friends of keeping that intimacy there? And obviously you have a product that's great for that. Do you have any advice for keeping that spark alive for us and trying to go
Yeah, I mean, well, I wouldn't say I'm the person to go to for intimacy advice. I can tell you what works for me, right? And well, starting a vibrator business really works well for me and for my husband. He's very grateful.
I'm sure he is.
But if that's not
like, my
your
work here is
path,
done.
I think getting more comfortable with yourself is number one, right? And discovering you and what makes you feel good. And as we age, things change. And what maybe felt good when we were in our 20s or 30s doesn't necessarily feel as good now. And so it's being open to trying different things, being open to considering different things, and being able to talk to your partner about it if it is with your partner that you want to try these things, right? I think a lot of times when we're in relationship, we just kind of do things how we've always done them. And maybe that's why a lot of women stop wanting to do this at all, because it's kind of become routine. But what if we had conversations where we'd be like, hey, I'd really like to try this, or would you consider doing this? Would you consider having a toy in the bedroom? A lot of spouses may be a little bit intimidated by that, but really, and mine can attest to it, it makes it even better, right? And that's a taboo that we have to get over as well. Like the partners thinking like they're not satisfying you and that they're going to be replaced. That's not true. These are just different tools. Just like I read something about just like if he were to use a power drill to to make something, he's still making it, but he needs a tool for help.
You probably still
That's
need
so
to
funny.
hammer it in.
It's so funny because when I got, one of my vibrators, and this is when my husband and I, were just first started dating, he came over to my house and I was super excited and I was like, hey, look what I got. And he looked at me and he was like, you want me to compete with that thing? That thing has a Hemi in it. He was like, there's no way. And so I think you're right. I think sometimes men can feel, or, women for that matter, can feel like they're being replaced or they're not good enough, or, you need this to reach your, orgasm or whatever you do. So that's interesting, approaching it with a more subtle way of, asking them, hey, what do you think?
Yeah, and you know what? I would say like your partner probably wants for you to feel as good as he feels, right? And if a toy is going to help you to get there, I would hope that he'd be okay with it. And if we can train our men, the toys are not your competition. It's not going to replace all the other amazing things about you, but it's going to help make everything better, especially in the bedroom. Why not?
I think at this point, so many women are experiencing a lack of libido. So for many of our partners, they're just excited that we like want to do something. I mean, anything is a win at this point.
Yeah, or even give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
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 The other thing about women is we were taught not to masturbate, right? Like
Don't touch yourself. Don't touch yourself.
that was dirty, but it was okay for boys to. How come? Like that these are just all the rules that just don't make sense. And so if we can open up to touching ourselves, then we can discover what feels really good and then we can share that,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
also would make intimacy better.
Well, that's great. This time in our lives is interesting in so many different regards, but our bodies are really changing. And many of us, as a result of the hormonal shifts, are experiencing some sort of discomfort, whether, it's lack of libido, whether it's vaginal dryness, whether it's discomfort when you're having sex. How did that insight shape your products and the rituals that you created at Oboo? Because, your products really are geared towards, sort of that midlife,
Yeah.
mid-age person, which is brilliant, because what's pleasing us in our, when we're 20 is probably very different, as a 40, 50, and even 6-year-old woman.
Yeah, and also the mindset, right? Like I do think these toys do work for the girls in their 20s because I have a daughter in my 20s and I've given her. But the reason we selected what we did to have and the reason why we created what we created in our wellness products is because I was dedicated to creating this for midlife women like me, like you. And so I wanted to make sure we had all of the tools that worked for if we have pain. If we have pain, we have a product, it's right behind me here, Smooch, that barely even touches you, but you can still feel really great from it. If you only can orgasm externally, we have plenty of products for that. We have products for internal orgasm, but we don't have an overwhelm of products, which I think is a problem in this space, right? You could go to a store and you're like, what do I get? I don't know. There's so many things. And some people might feel a little dirty with that. They shouldn't, but they might. And I get it. And then also even online, other sites online that have like hundreds and hundreds of products, you just don't know what to get. So one, I want to create something that will work for a variety of midlife women, but not have the overwhelm. So we have 8 different vibrators to choose from. I promise you they're going to work great for whatever you like. Also, I wanted to make sure women knew that this isn't just for pleasure. It's for our sexual health and our wellness. And so if you were to go to the site, you can see all the reasons why each of these will help your sexual wellness and your vaginal wellness and your vulva wellness, because it is good to keep things going down there. A lot of times we get dry, like you said, and this helps reduce the dryness because you're getting blood to flow down there more often than if you weren't using something like this. But then I really love talking about my wellness products because I have lubricants and vulva balms and more, where I worked with this wonderful woman out of San Diego. She reminds me of the woman from Lessons in Chemistry. Did you read that book or see the show?
Watch the show. I watch the show. I don't read.
She's amazing like that. Like, she knows everything about every botanical there is. And she helped to create these products that are all natural, using only botanicals and natural ingredients. Ancient knowledge of what these ingredients do for you and bringing it forward to today. So it's full of moisturizers. So this is a lubricant, but it's also a moisturizer. You could use it every day if you're feeling dry and uncomfortable in your vaginal region or your vulva. And I'm going to say those words because we can't say them enough anymore either.
Yeah.
I also worked with her to create vulva balms. This one is our smooth arousal balm. We also have a daily one. This one I use every day after I put the moisturizer on my face. I moisturize my vulva. And it has 7 different hydrating ingredients in it to keep things supple and smooth down there, because as we all know, things change.
You got a little pep in your step, once you're doing that with your weighted vest. You put your weighted vest on and your vagina's feeling good.
Yes, and yes, that is true. I should do a video of that because that is my routine in the mornings.
I love that. There's so much noise in the marketplace too. We are being so influenced by consumers, and there's so many products and so many guarantees and all of the things. And so it's really nice to have, a limited but effective product line, to not be overwhelmed by that. I remember this was probably 10 or 15 years ago. Some girlfriends and I went into Fascinations. By the way, Fascinations is like the Apple store now. It's very refined. They have like things in cases and all of the things. And we had this nice little salesman, and we had a boozy brunch and went in and said, what do you recommend? And he was taking us around the store, and he was like, showing us big things. And we were like, no, that's too big. And little things, no, that's too little. And glass things. And we were like, no, we don't want that next to our wine glasses in our dishwasher. And then he showed us one of these things, and the price tag on it was quite high, but of course you can never put a price on pleasure. And I said, okay, what are the features and benefits of this thing? And he went on and on and on, but I'll never forget. He said, ladies, this thing will make your toes throw gang signs. And all of us literally walked out of the store. There were like 8 or 10 of us with the same thing. So I had to share
magic wand.
No, it was, I think it was the Jimmy Jane.
Yes.
That was the Jimmy Jane.
So fun.
But yeah, there is so much noise out there. So it's nice to be mindful, in all of the products that you're doing. And as Courtney said, your products are so beautiful. Like, I feel
I wanted to a little show and tell behind you. Like, they're so packaging is on TV. I mean, I'm still dying to know, like the R&D of building a dildo or a vibrator. Friends come over and you're like, try this one. Does it work? Like, my mind is like going crazy.
It was so much fun. I wish I had known you guys then, especially since we're all in the same area. So it was me and 3 of my besties who are all at the same stage of life, but we all feel differently about sex, right? Like, so if you have a continuum, we have one over here who never wants it again, is in that 50% group, and one over here who cannot get it enough. And then I'm kind of in the middle-ish, and my other friend was kind of in the middle-ish. And so we were able to get samples upon samples upon samples of what could work for this brand, and we all tried them. And you guys,
when you have a new product rollout, I want to be invited.
Okay. Yes, you're more than welcome. Yes. And it was so much fun. And then we were able to narrow it down and say, well, I like this, but I wish it only had 5 modes versus 20. right? We don't need the 20 modes. And so we were able to fine tune things in that way where we just wanted, like, for some of us, we just like the regular buzz, not all the music and stuff that goes with it, right? We're all based on music. Take my breath away. Let's see.
See, the product packaging, so pretty, guys.
Hooked on a feeling.
Oh my God. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you're sad because these products are gorgeous.
This one is so great. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Ooh, look at that.
Abracadabra. I want to reach in and grab you.
My God, I love it.
So fun.
I love this.
And then
your brand kind of reminds me of like Dry Bar in a way. You know how like they are sassy and fun and cute? Like it's totally like on.
Thank you.
Yes, sorry. Continue what you were saying inside of the abracadabra pouch.
No. I was just sharing. This is what you get. And it's just such a fun little surprise once the box comes, right?
Well, and those bags are very important. I just had a situation recently. Courtney knows this. This was horrifying. I have a drawer of my toys, and I call them my ex-boyfriends on life support. But I have a drawer of those toys, and my middle child got into them. He found them. They were in my closet, and they were hidden
How old was he?
Bags. He's 11. And so he was in my closet, and thank goodness my husband was there, and he found them, and he was like, Dad, what are these? And my husband thought on his feet. He said, those are Mom's hand massagers. And my sweet 72-year-old mom, who is so refined and so beautiful and so wonderful, has terrible arthritis in her hands. And she was over at the house watching the kids after school. And so my son takes my vibrator and goes up to my mom and says, Gigi, I know how much your hands hurt. I found Mom's hand massagers. Can I massage your hands? And he's literally, my mom is like so disgusted and so horrified, but she didn't have the heart to tell my son like no, or because it was so well-intentioned. And so my mom is my very best friend, and I called her the next morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, P got into my vibrators. And she was like, oh, I know he got into your vibrators.
Oh my gosh.
I got an arthritic hand massage from...
So they can also double as a hand massager. Not only can you massage
little
neck
pink. That is so
You hear
funny.
stories like that all the time, though. You know, I mean, like kids getting into them. I'm sure it would be fun for you to do like a social media thing to say what's your funniest story about your vibrators and your kids. Or
that's a good idea. I'm going to write it down. Yes, I mean, when I started, so I have 5 kids between 15 and 21. And when I started this, they were mortified. They were like, Mom, you're doing what? And at first I tried to keep it on the down low here just in my office, but eventually I didn't have enough outlets to charge everything. And so like it's an Easter egg hunt in our house with vibrators charging in every outlet.
You have to be careful with like new friends inviting over. You're like, just so you know.
But then, you know what? Now we just embrace it. This is what it is, and it shouldn't be taboo. It's okay to feel good.
I love it. I mean, I know you're a year into this and obviously a growing brand. And again, kudos for getting on, you know, Mary Claire Haver's list of top products for women's health. But tell, you know, our listeners and followers how they can find your products, and maybe even some retailers out there who are looking to expand their portfolio. Again, these products are so beautiful, so well designed. I can't wait to get my hand on one just to, you know, for testing purposes. But, you know, really
you
like
your vagina on one. You can't wait to get your vagina
can't wait
on
to,
one.
Yes, both areas. And, you know, hand
let
massage.
Me know which.
Yeah, Dawn owes me a Christmas present. So, Dawn.
I do need to order one for that because I gave Courtney's original one away, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
I think so, because now she gets a cute little pouch.
I get the better one.
So everything right now is just direct through my website, Oboo, OBOO. .love. Did you know there's a .love nowadays?
No, that's awesome. We should do that.
I loved it so much when I found it, but it doesn't really help a ton when people are trying to find me.
Yeah.
But eventually we'll get the word out there enough and people will know. So oboo.love, go there. You can also follow us there on Instagram. It's oboo.love as well. And that's where you can find everything. And then your question about retailers, oh my gosh, someday. Right
Someday.
now, I am just trying to fine tune everything and get the brand awareness and get us out there. Mary Claire's helping a lot with that, and people like you are helping a lot with that. So thank you so much, because it is really hard to advertise this type of product. So I need to rely on people like you and people like Mary Claire to talk about it. But then, I'm also talking to a lot of menopause clinicians and sexual health therapists, and I'd really like to be in their offices to offer them products to their customers who are also probably in midlife, right? And I think that makes it even more special. So I'm starting there, and then eventually I'll contact my people from Target and Walmart from my former life.
Totally. I see Nordstrom carrying this. It's like such a cute product. You're like, pop
Do
up
you know
shop at
anybody?
Nordstrom. I do locally, Cherry Creek. We'll get you a pop up shop for holidays. Why not? I mean, if Nordstrom's not selling it, come on, guys.
Yeah, get with it, Nordstrom. I mean, you can buy one of these things at like King's, not yours, but you can buy vibrators now at, King Supers and Walgreens. Nordstrom's needs to step it up a little bit. How did the brand name come? Oboo. Is that like what you and your girlfriend said when you were trying these things out? Like, ooh, boo.
Okay, so it's derived from two words. I want you guys to guess.
I already know this, so I'm not going to guess.
Orgasm and vagina?
No. Orgasm is right. Orgasm is right, and that's good. And right? Like
Yeah.
And then boo.
And maybe your boo, like your boo?
Boost. So an orgasm boost for us ladies in midlife is where the name came from.
Okay. Awesome.
And then we decided that every product should have at least the double O in it. So if you look around, you'll see that every product does. We have smooch, we have moon, we have whoosh, we have woo, we have shoot.
Wait, you have Moosh?
Whoosh.
Oh, I was like, that's kind of my last name. I need that one. That's like Moosh. I need one named after me, Moosh.
Now I have to ask you a question, Amy, because this came up at our tennis last night while we were drinking copious amounts of wine. Tennis was canceled, but the wine never is canceled.
So fun.
We were talking about, it was a big topic of conversation about butt plugs, for lack of better. And I know that on your website, you have this Moon anal training kit. I feel like the popularity of these is catching on both for men and women. And I'd love for you to just share a little bit about how that can enhance things for you in the bedroom.
Yes. So the moon, isn't this the perfect name?
Yes, I love it. And it's got 2 O's, Moon.
Yep.
And it has different sizes for various
Expedition Anal.
levels.
So clever. See, guys, she's so clever.
So this is an anal training kit. And you know why I added this? Because this is not something that I use regularly or honest to God ever have. This is the only product I've never tried. I'm getting there. I'm just a regular girl like the rest of us. And I'm getting there, but not quite yet. But my husband and I go to a regular marriage therapy session every about 6 weeks. And we were telling him about this new business and what I'm doing. And the first thing he said is you need to have anal plugs. And as a marriage therapist, and he said this is what people want now. This is the first place they go. It really enhances their connection with each other for both men and women. So that's why I have it. One of the girls on my team of friends, she was the tester for it, and I will be soon. I feel like I shouldn't even admit that I haven't used it.
We're going to challenge you. I'm going to follow up in a couple of months and be like, Amy, how's that Moon product?
I know, but it does come. This is the Hooked on the Feeling bag, and it does come in 3 different sizes. Here we go. Small, medium.
Whoa.
Oh, wait. I think I have 2 mediums in here. No. Small, medium, and large. Or no, I have 2 larges in here. There's a medium that go in between. The large one vibrates.
Large and in charge.
But I haven't. Here we go. I don't know if you can hear it. You can't hear it because they're so quiet. But yeah, apparently you're supposed to start with a small, obviously use tons of lube. Do not deny yourself lubricant when you're doing this. And then eventually you can get to the large size, and it's supposed to be Like one thing that I've heard that it does is, how our clitoris isn't just what we see on the outside, it's all on the inside. And this really does help to touch the internal part of our clitoris. And the orgasms apparently are just out of this world.
Ooh.
Gang sign worthy.
Hmm?
Toe gang sign worthy.
Oh, yeah. Toe gangs.
Maybe that's what you're getting, Court. Move over vibrator. You're getting the anal plugs.
Well, and you know what? The big one does vibrate, so it could work externally too, right?
2-in-1. I'd be over the moon to get it.
Maybe we should have a moon challenge. That will be another thing that
Another
posting about.
social media
Mhm.
campaign.
For those people who are a little more, shy around this type of thing, or perhaps have concerns or misconceptions, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that you're hearing around vibrators or sexual wellness products, and how can we debunk those?
I know. Well, and going back to we're not supposed to be touching ourselves, right? And my husband or my partner can take care of me. Like I just keep thinking about, if he doesn't have the parts, how does he know what makes us feel so good? And wouldn't it be better if we figured out what makes us feel so good and then teach him, right? So us being a little bit more submissive in how we approach our sexual encounters maybe is something that we need to throw away. Well, being submissive sometimes I think is fine, but I think we could throw that away and know that these are our bodies, and our bodies deserve to be touched and felt, and we deserve to figure out what makes us feel really good. And it's okay to use a tool to help you there, especially now at an age where orgasm might not come as fast or as in the same ways that it used to when we were younger.
Yeah, I love that. And I love, that you've taken this journey and started a taboo company and all about women's health and wellness and sexuality. And, I guess looking back at 2 years ago when you were struggling, is there any, lessons learned or advice you can give our listeners who might be in the same boat, like stuck in corporate America, or not having a job and trying to figure out what we want to do next in this next job? Do you have any, words of wisdom for us before we go through a little rapid fire questions?
No, I feel so fortunate that it came to me. And I was one of those people who all my life I was like, what is my passion? And I thought I was one without one. But I just had to wait till I was 50 to find it. Right. So I guess my word of wisdom is don't give up on you and really start, I think getting quiet with yourself and listening is really helpful in knowing what it is you want, because I think a lot of times we just go, 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 go. We have 1 million things in our head all the time. And if we can just slow down and just let the answers come to us instead of feeling like we have to control what the answer is going to be, I think maybe we could get there easier. That's another lesson I learned, totally different from orgasm. But orgasm does help you turn off your brain. So you could maybe combine the two.
Again, you're vibrating higher, my love.
Totally. Well, let's dive into these rapid fire fun questions.
Oh gosh, I didn't read you. I hope I know them all. Okay, go.
That's okay.
I might
Morning
ask you
ritual.
Yeah, you can ask
Coffee
us whatever.
or tea?
Coffee. Definitely. Hazelnut creamer.
What is your favorite midlife indulgence right now?
I have to say my Oboo breaks. And I didn't mention that earlier, but I want to make it a thing. Have you had an Oboo break today?
Oh,
Ooh, I love that. A sex tip every woman should know.
You are a goddess.
well, speaking of sorry, go ahead. Your
And
goddess.
you can act like one anytime, especially in the bedroom.
Yes. Speaking of Oboo products and your break, what is your favorite product? What's your go-to Oboo?
Well, I mean, I do use the Smooth Daily Vulva Balm every day. And I do think I have a very moisturized vulva. But if we're talking about tools, Groove. This is the Groove. And what's great about Groove is it has 2 motors, one for your clitoris, one for your G-spot. And you can use it outside, you can use it inside, and you can use it both ways at the same time. And Groove, baby. But I go through phases. It's been smooch. It's been Ooh, and maybe someday.
I was going to say, not to the moon, Alice. Get to the moon, Alice.
Oh gosh, how about the guilty pleasure show you're binging right now?
I am not a good TV watcher, but over the summer, before my daughter went back to college, I did watch Love Island with her.
Oh, that is so good. I love that.
And apparently the reunion was on the other night. I have to go see it. I forgot.
By the way, Love Island, get Oboo products on your show. That would really spice.
That would definitely spice things up. Okay, so as we're going through perimenopause and menopause, what is a hormone hack or ritual you swear by that's been helpful besides orgasms, obviously? And maybe that's it.
On the full spectrum of hormones, and I love them. I want every woman to know that there's nothing to be afraid of. Like I have the testosterone, I have the estrogen, and I have the progesterone, and it's made a world of difference in my life. I think the testosterone the most.
Oh, I'm so excited. I just got my testosterone pellets 3 weeks ago, and so I'm waiting for them to kick in. And, they say that I might need like 5 of your products because they say that your libido just goes through the roof. So if you see me on the street, like, limping or walking like I just went on a, horseback ride for 30 days, you know that the testosterone pellets are working in and that my shipment from...
He was grooving it up. You were
I hope that I do see you that way. I really do. No, testosterone pellets, not only for the libido though, like it made my mind focus. And I was like, seriously, you guys, 2 times I drove 20 miles in the wrong direction before I knew.
We talk about all the time, like the brain fog is so real. Forgetting the words, losing your executive functioning, like not being able to multitask. It is so real. And I'm really hoping, because I've struggled with that as well. I'm hoping that the testosterone helps with that.
I hope it does for you too. It did for me. It was like, I couldn't remember anything before, but I did know I had like every symptom. And then afterwards, I didn't have all of those symptoms, but I don't remember what they all are. But it's okay, because I feel so much better.
Oh
so
my gosh.
Well, yeah.
We are going to wrap it up. I'd like to leave our listeners with one thing, and the only shame in masturbation is not doing it well. So ladies, get your hands on some Oboo products and start masturbating well, right?
Yes. And talk to your partner about it. He's going to want you to join.
He or she, whoever you're in the bed with.
Yeah.
Well, so tell us again how we can find you.
Yeah. I was going to say, tell people again how we can find you.
Okay, we're at oboo.love, oboo.love. Please come on by.
Come on by, ladies. Well, thank you so much, Amy and Oboo. That's a wrap on today's spicy, real, and totally unapologetic episode of Hot Flash Health. Remember, your spark is more than libido. It's your drive, your boldness, and your fire. Don't let anyone tell you that midlife is slowing you down. So for everyone out there, please follow us. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple. Share this episode with your gal pals. Go out and buy Oboo for your girlfriends. They will love you forever. Until next time, stay sassy and keep those hot flashes in check. And that's a wrap on today's episode. Remember, menopause may be a wild ride, but together we've got this.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Hot Flash Health.
Stream and subscribe to us on any of your favorite listening platforms like YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
And of course, share your thoughts with us. We love hearing from our amazing listeners.
And until next time, stay sassy, stay fabulous, and keep those hot flashes in check.
Yeah, girl.
Woo!